Paul is having a bit of a struggle. I want to once again welcome you to our Thursday evening training. It's a great pleasure, as always, to spend this time with you. And I will get right into it because today I wanted to speak about basic supplementation. And the reason why I wanted to touch on this briefly is because sometimes people think that our supplements are medicines that you only start taking when you are sick. But remember, supplements, as we know, are not medicines, and therefore, ideally, we should take them as an ongoing part of maintaining good health. Of course, when our health suffers, they help us also, but in actual fact, we should treat them as an ongoing health maintenance system. So for that reason, I thought I would speak about some of our basic supplementation products so that you can know what to recommend, especially to people you know who would like to maintain their good health, not because they are suffering from this or that illness, but because they actually want to preempt such health problems. And one thing that COVID-19 has taught us is that we need to take care of our immune system and our health always, so that if such a thing attacks us, our immune system is in a position to fight back and speed up our recovery and prevent us from having very, very dire aspects of a disease. So I arrange the products in such a way as to depend on, let's say, the budget that is available, and to make sure that anyone can actually try and manage to do some supplementation. So I'm sure we all know, most of us who are distributors, I'm sure there are some guests today, but we all know that the foundation of our supplementation is Tri-NN. Tri-NN is made of oils of grains and legumes, which usually are taken out in the refining process of these foods. So Tri-NN makes sure that our cell membranes of every cell in our body is in good conditions, meaning that it sets the foundation at a cellular level. And that is excellent because then, even if we are only taking Tri-NN, we can benefit from all the other good dietary measures that we are taking in terms of what we are eating and drinking. Tri-NN will make sure that our cells are in a position to benefit from that. Obviously, if our cells are in a bad condition, even if we are trying to eat very well and exercise and do all these things, the benefits are going to be reduced. So Tri-NN, therefore, is an excellent place to start as basic supplementation for everyone who wants to be able to take better care of their health. Then above Tri-NN, and we know that Tri-NN comes in two sizes, which makes it, if someone has got a very small budget, you can go for the small Tri-NN. If possible, to go for the bigger one, which is a more family size that can be used by maybe husband and wife or several members of the family. Then after Tri-NN, we have got Formula 4 and Formula 4 Plus. Both of these, I would call them our second tier or our medium tier basic supplementation. They also contain Tri-NN, but in addition to Tri-NN, they also have several vitamins and minerals incorporated in them. And the difference between the two, because sometimes I get people asking me, what is the difference between this and that product? They seem to be the same thing. So the difference between Formula 4 and Formula 4 Plus is that Formula 4 Plus has got more Tri-NN and it has got no iron. Maybe I can inform you that not everybody should supplement with iron, especially adult men who have finished their growing period in life. They don't actually need extra iron other than what they get from their diet. It can be detrimental. So for that reason, Formula 4 Plus does not contain iron. But Formula 4 Plain, the one that is not plus, contains iron as well as some Tri-NN and some minerals and vitamins. So those are our second tier in the supplementation basics, because if a person can get Formula 4 or Formula 4 Plus, it's Tri-NN and some extra. Then if someone wants to go a step further, then the next product to recommend is ProVitality. This one is a very good general supplement because it's going to give us threonine, it's going to give us omega-3 salmon oil, it's going to give us carotenoids, as well as a multi-tablet. This multi is multivitamin, multimineral. It also does not contain iron. So you can see that with ProVitality, you now have really taken a big step in making sure that you are closing up all the gaps in your nutrition by making sure you get what you need from the side. Let's say adding fish to your diet, you are getting what you should be getting from your grains and legumes. You are getting something of the antioxidants as well as a multimineral, multivitamin. So ProVitality is very excellent. Again, this is a bit higher in price, but it's a broader spectrum of supplementation. Then above ProVitality, we can look at Daily Vitality Pack. Daily Vitality Pack is a top tier supplement. It's got several of the important vitamins. It has got vitamin C, it has got vitamin B, it has multimineral, and so this one is quite a wide range of supplements, and it's the one that usually people who really want to be up there with supplementation go for. So for example, professional sports people or professional people who maybe have a very high-powered job that requires them to really make sure that they take good care of themselves. So Daily Vitality Pack is quite useful for that. And so maybe the only thing they would need to add are if you add Phyto Defense to Daily Vitality Pack plus omega-3, you are getting a real powerhouse of supplements. So Daily Vitality Pack up there, and in addition, to get the benefits of the phytonutrients, you can add Phyto Defense, and to get the advantage of the omega-3s, you get omega-3 salmon oil, and there now you have covered all your bases in supplementation. So then, not to forget our children, of course, we know that Neolife has got also a range of supplements that make sure that our children who are growing and are in need of good nutrition also have supplements that they can take. The children's supplements are friendly to the children because they are sweetened with fruits, and they can be sucked or chewed. And we also have Liquivite, which is a syrup that can be taken by a child who is not quite confident with chewing yet. So Vita Squares, VitaGuard are chewable, as well as All C. We have got the All C vitamin, which is also chewable. And then we have Liquivite for the little ones who are not yet ready to chew, because sometimes before they reach a certain age, they can accidentally swallow the Vita Square, VitaGuard. So in that young stage, we recommend Liquivite, which has got what we are talking about, the full range of minerals and vitamins that children need. So then moving on, I also wanted to mention that, remember, our supplements are not medicines, and they're also not a replacement for food. We still need to take good care of what we put in our bodies in the form of food. And I wanted to give you 4 general rules for just understanding how we can generally improve our diet to make sure that the rules just help us to make sure that we can formulate a healthy diet for ourselves. And so the first thing we say is that 80 to 90% of our food should be natural foods. And remember, I've said before, and maybe for those who are new, I will repeat, that the way we recognize a natural food is that it's possible to recognize it in relation to its original form. So by looking at it, you can recognize what it is. Mostly, it doesn't come in a packet with nutritional information, because it is something that is very closely linked to its origin. So that is number one. 80 to 90% of our foods should be in that category, which can be recognized in relation to its raw state. So for example, something like grain which has ground, we can recognize that it's been milled from, let's say, maize or wheat or something. But if it is very white, we know that the grains are not that color, which means something has been done to it. So for example, the flour that you get in a packet might have been bleached, which means that that level of refining is a bit too high. On the other hand, if the flour is the same color as the grain from which it comes, and there isn't this extreme whiteness, then you know that it is closer to its original. Of course, if you are able to and you can take your meal to be ground personally, then it's even better. If it's something like meat, it should be something that you can actually see that this is the meat of an animal. If it's a vegetable, it should be recognized as a vegetable. So 90% of our food should be like that. Then rule number 2, 90% of what we drink should be water, plain water, not changed in any way. And then, of course, we have got, we can add things like tea, like Neolife. We have got the Neolife tea, which is very close to water because we simply add the tea to it. You can add various types of tea, green tea, black tea, all these. But the basic drink there is water that has been flavored with something. On the other hand, if we take something like soda or fruit juice, it's very far from water because the color is different, the flavor is different. There is information on it that tells you of many chemicals that have been added. That should make either no part of our diet or a very small occasional part of the diet. Then rule number 3 is eliminate 95% of added sugar. So if something, the taste of sweetness should be coming from mainly fruits, and a few vegetables may be slightly sweet. The moment something has sugar added to it, it should be treated with caution. Okay, so that is rule number 3, eliminate 95% of added sugar. So foods to which sugar has been added should make a very small part of our diet. And then rule number 4 is we should make the practice of eating during meals and not snacking. Only small children who are still growing, who have a very small stomach capacity, cannot eat enough to last between meals. So they may need a snack. Also, people who are maybe sick or recovering may need a snack. But healthy people who have no particular health issue should be able to eat only during meals. In this way, we are able to say, during this meal, we are going to eat this. The problem with snacking is that we tend to eat unhealthy things if we are snacking. And the whole snack industry has come out of that habit, and it tempts us to eat things which are not generally good for us. Of course, we can choose healthy snacks, but it's a better habit to give our systems a rest between meals so that our digestive system can have time to take a break and repair itself and not always be busy digesting food. All right. Then I see that now I want to move to the question because I have one question which has been requested severally, and someone detail. And according to your invite, you know that I wanted to speak about sickle cell anemia. And maybe those who are new to our training, I might just mention that Pascal and myself have got a son who suffers from sickle cell anemia. Those who do not know sickle cell anemia, it's a genetic illness that is common in people from around Lake Victoria and East Africa, along the coast as well as people from West Africa. So this illness does not have a cure yet. The only way that it can be cured is by having a bone marrow transplant from a person who is a perfect match to the patient. So this is not, of course, to say that sickle cell anemia is the only genetic illness we experience in Africa. And I think that we can use what I'm going to say in a more general way to help to understand that by our care and by using Neolife supplements, we can improve the condition of the person suffering from the illness, but we do not claim that we are going to cure the illness, because remember, something which is genetic means that it's your very makeup, it's within your DNA. So the only way you can change it is to change the way the DNA is operating. And so far with sickle cell, they have not found a way to cure that other than to kill the person's bone marrow and implant new bone marrow from a donor who is a perfect match. So the sickle cell in particular is characterized by the body makes defective hemoglobin, and It can manifest itself as early as in infancy. For example, our son was diagnosed when he was around 4 to 6 months that he started having different kinds of symptoms. And the severity also varies from person to person. So it's not identical in all the sufferers. Some people have got a mild form of the disease, others have got a very severe form of the disease. It depends on the percentage of defective hemoglobin that the person has got. So some of the signs that can warn a parent that the child has got, or a caregiver, that the child has got sickle cell anemia is periods of acute joint pain. For little children, it's usually in the fingers and the toes, because the destruction affects the small joints of the fingers and the toes. The children may also have stomach cramps where they seem as if they have colic. They may also have occasional nosebleeds, especially as they get older, and they may have a poor appetite, and their growth may be a bit slow because the body is continuously struggling with this defective hemoglobin. As the sufferers reach adulthood, they have frequent pains, again, still in the joints. The most affected is usually the hip joint, and many of them, as they reach their 20s and 30s, may need to have a replacement of some of the joints, especially the hip joint. And they may continue to have nosebleeds and stomach cramps and uncomfortable other kinds of discomfort, like, for example, priapism, where the men suffering from sickle cell may have a prolonged uncomfortable erection of the penis, and so on. So as the years go by, the illness may progressively damage the organs because they are constantly fighting this destructive condition. Some of the interventions, so those are some of the signs, and it's not all of them, but just to give you an idea, then some of the interventions that we can make at home for a person suffering from sickle cell is that they do need a full-time caregiver, because many of the crises that they suffer from can come quite suddenly, maybe as a result of a change in weather, can be as a result of a minor infection or some pressure, maybe just some social pressure that they're undergoing. So a full-time parent, if possible, or a full-time caregiver who can be there at any time to help the person is very helpful. Also, for many of them, there is a frequent need for hospitalization in order to control pain or to improve hydration. So again, it means that there needs to be someone who is able to drop everything and take care of them or take them to hospital. Then so that is the first thing, to think about the caregiver. And then the second thing is that hydration is very important for people with sickle cell. They need to drink in a given day a minimum of 2 or 3 liters of water, as well as other fluids. And this helps to maintain the fluidity of their blood, because as soon as they start getting a bit dehydrated, it causes the cells to get that sickle shape from which the disease gets its name. So it's very important for them to avoid dehydration. And it's important to understand that by the time a sickle cell person is saying they're thirsty, they could already be dehydrated. So they should never wait to get thirsty. They should have a program of drinking during the day, whether they feel thirsty or not. And as parents, we might need to help them with that so that they get in the habit of drinking water. Periodically, you can give them a bottle and tell them you need to drink after every maybe 2 hours, or you need to finish this before noon, and then another lot like that, just to train them to be in that habit of keeping themselves hydrated, because it could, especially in the hotter parts of Africa, you may find that dehydration can be a constant danger. Then the third intervention, I would say, is for the people around the sick person to cultivate spiritual strength, because this person is going to have to learn to live with their illness and to try to fulfill their life goals. So they will need encouragement. They will need to have their confidence boosted. So the parents themselves, or the people who are caring for them, need to not be depressed and negative and to keep on thinking that they are doomed and so on, but to try to cultivate that strength of helping the sufferer to reach their goals and to try and raise themselves above the illness. Because the problem can be that the person becomes so consumed by the illness and so defeated by it that the illness starts to define them. So they don't see themselves as people who can live their lives, but just as sick people who are awaiting the next attack of their illness. So this is not easy. And of course, we know that there are families where there may be 2 or 3 children with sickle cell anemia. And I know it's demanding for the parents and the caregivers. But the work of helping to raise any child with special needs has its own rewards as we help them to reach their goals and live as normal a life as possible. So then the fourth thing I wanted to say in the interventions is knowledge. Knowledge is very important. In these kinds of illnesses, it's important for us to educate ourselves you have offended the ancestors or all these kinds of stories. It's good to be informed so that you don't get distracted and upset by such like stories, and you know exactly what is happening. We know that, for example, in the case of sickle cell, it is a genetic illness, a genetic mutation, which has given the advantage to people who are carriers of the gene, have got a resistance to malaria. So for that reason, it is beneficial in a certain way. But if a person has got a double sickle cell gene, then of course they have the illness. So there is no curse, and there is no witchcraft, and there is none of these stories that we say. It's simply a way that the body in the course of people evolving, the systems tried to fight against malaria. And unfortunately, it's only half of a success, because for the person who is a carrier, like Pascal and myself are carriers of the sickle cell gene, but we do not suffer from the symptoms that our son suffers from. And we do have a resistance to malaria. So for example, even though we spend quite a bit of time in Luoland, we rarely get malaria. I think in all my life, I've only ever got malaria 2 times. So it does give us that protection. But for our son, he has got those adverse effects of the mutation. Okay, so knowledge is very important. Also to try to get informed about what research is going on about the illness and what can be done to help. In this case, a good doctor can be very helpful. For example, if you have a good hematologist, they can inform you on what is going on and what treatment is available and what new findings are being researched upon. Then exercise for people with sickle cell is useful, but it should be low impact, because they tend to they cannot afford to damage their joints. So exercises that require a lot of jumping and hitting the ground hard will be more damaging than useful. For something like swimming or cycling, not too much, but to some degree, walking can be okay. So some exercise is good, but they should not overdo it, and they should especially avoid high impact types of exercise that can give the joints a lot of trouble. Then to go to their diet, they mostly should simply eat a good balanced diet, as I mentioned before, natural as possible. The best proteins for them are fish and eggs, because eggs especially are rich in vitamin B, which is very helpful for the people with sickle cell, because their body keeps on breaking their blood, so they need the vitamin B to keep their blood supply fine. Then, of course, plenty of fruits and vegetables, and to keep junk food and sugar at a minimum, because any person who already has got an underlying condition should not overload the body with harmful foodstuffs. Nobody should overload their body with harmful foodstuff, but especially if your body is already working so hard under these difficult conditions, it makes sense to try and be helpful and not give it the hard work or the liver the hard work of detoxifying some of this junk food that are available, but which we should not actually eat. One last point on that is to realize that sickle cell anemia, although it's called anemia, it's not due to lack of iron. And in fact, iron supplementation should be used very carefully with people with sickle cell, because you can overload them, especially for older male adults with sickle cell, because the body is able to recycle iron. So most of the time, you don't need extra iron. And that is why it's very good that Neolife has got these multi-minerals, like multi, the one called multi, which does not have iron, because a person with sickle cell, it's better for them, especially the male ones, to take. For girls, especially girls who are reaching puberty and the childbirth years, it's okay for them to take iron because they lose some of the blood in their menses. But for adult men who have finished growing, iron supplementation may not be ideal if they have sickle cell anemia. And even for men in general, they should be careful with supplementing with iron. It's good to consult a little bit before including iron in their supplements. So it's better that they use multi instead of multi-mineral or the full Formula 4. Then just to run through the products that we recommend for sickle cell specifically. So this is specific to sickle cell. As I said, the crisis of sickle cell tends to be destructive of the blood and the joints, and some of the organs like the spleen, and a little bit, there may be some destruction, or they can suffer from strokes, and they can also have some kidney damage. So as a result, and this is all the result of the crisis that they suffer from. So for this reason, it's important for us to supplement for them, apart from having a good diet, to give them supplements that support the making of new blood, as well as the healing of internal wounds. Because when they have a sickle cell crisis, it's as if they have been wounded. It's just that we can't see from the outside, but there are wounds, extensive wounds in the joints that are affected, or in the organ that is affected. And for that reason, number one, as I said before, vitamin B complex is very important because it helps in the production of both blood and energy. Then the second one is chelated zinc, which is important for the healing of wounds and helps to prevent the formation of leg ulcers, because sometimes people with sickle cell may develop ulcers that don't heal easily. So the use of chelated zinc really helps with that. And then we have omega-3 salmon oil, which helps with blood and vascular health, and also helps to fight inflammation, which happens during a sickling crisis. Then we have Beta-Guard, which helps in detoxifying, because as you know, someone with sickle cell will often have to take painkillers because it's a very painful illness. So they will need to take painkillers, and the byproducts can cause some problems for the detox organs like the liver, the kidney, and so on. So Beta-Guard plays an important role. They don't need to take the Beta-Guard continuously, but each time they are recovering from a crisis, we can take them back and forth to the Beta-Guard. When they get better, we take a break. So it doesn't mean that you have to use a Beta-Guard all the time, but it should be around in case it is needed. Then multi, as I said before, is an important supplement for them. And as I said, its benefit is that it does not have iron. So it's safe for male sickle cell sufferers to use who have passed the growth spurt of their youth. So if you want to make it general, the ProVitality makes a good supplement for them, especially as they reach an age where you may struggle to get them to get all their supplements. So the ProVitality sachet is easy to take with them. Let's say they are teenagers, they want to go, they are going to boarding school, or they want to be, they are not around at home. I find that the ProVitality is an easy one because it's quite portable, and they get everything packed already in a sachet. But periodically you have to give them vitamin B, or you can give them lipotropic just to help them along. Then I think that I would stop there because I have stolen quite a bit of time from Pascal. But I would just like to express a few thoughts in conclusion. The first one being that with all these illnesses, which we are talking about that have no cure and are genetic, one of the things that a very kind doctor told me is that when finally a cure is found, it will only be beneficial to people who are still alive and to those who have the money to afford the treatment. So each one of us, for those of you who have got a child with sickle cell or any other genetic illness, I want to encourage you to do the best for them, to try and improve their life situations and to live in hope and to do your best to make a plenty of money so that when God willing, a treatment is found, it should not be that you do not have the money for the treatment. It should be that something else has prevented, but it is not a matter of money. And for that reason, I've always been grateful to Neolife for the opportunity not only of the excellent supplements that Felix, our son, as well as the rest of the family have used over the years, but also providing us with a vehicle for making a living and making money and living always in the hope that if a treatment a cure is found for sickle cell, we'll be in a position to help our son. So I encourage each one of you, and I want to really encourage you to not give up and not become depressed, but to live in hope and to work hard in the knowledge that as long as we are alive, we can make a difference, and we should make that difference. So let me hand you over to Pascal and Paul, because I've really been a thief of time today, but to thank you very much and to wish you all the best, and to wish all those who are going to be announced and shining today many congratulations and well done. And for those who did not achieve the goals they had hoped for, I want to encourage you to put your foot forward again and keep on keeping on, keep working. The goal is ours to get. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Betty. I think that was a lovely session. Those of you who are taking notes, although I cannot see anybody taking notes, but I'm sure a lot of people took notes. So Paul, I want to hand over back to you to take us through the recognition. Paul, can you hear me?
Yes, Pascal, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much, Betty, for taking us through that amazing session of products during this recognition meeting. I would like to request Pascal, if it's possible, you can share your screen. My laptop is still misbehaving. And then I'll be able to call out names of the people we are recognizing today so that we can be able to finish recognition. So as we wait for Pascal to share his screen, I just want to...
Can you see my screen, Paul?
And every one of you on the call, to have each and every one of you. All right, so yes, I can see your screen. You can make it a slideshow.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, this is a PDF file.
Okay, so it's not allowing. We can just move with that. It's okay. If it's misbehaving, we can still work with it that way, because I know you opened it from the one I sent you on WhatsApp, right?
No, I opened the email you sent. All right, Paul, I think you're having challenges with connection.
But there is no problem.
All right, I think let me just continue with the recognition.
You hear me well, Pascal?
Okay, you keep coming and going, and probably I should continue with the recognition. This recognition are the people who did exceptional, got exceptional results during the month of June 2021. And as you see, then our motto in this business is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And one of the ways to make our world a happier place is to recognize the people who've done a fantastic job during the month of June. So first, I would like to welcome all the new distributors who joined our business for the month of June. And I think our business is very simple. We do 3 daily success habits, and that is using the products, sharing the products and the opportunity, and then personal development. So for the people who joined our business in the month of June, new distributors in Uganda is 69, in Kenya is 179, and Tanzania is 480. The total of 728. So I would like to ask the Tanzanians, what is the secret? I'm sure they can share with us the secret of how they are able to introduce 480 new distributors to Neolife. So congratulations, all those people who sponsored new distributors and all our new distributors who are attending these sessions. Welcome to the Neolife family. Then the next category is new managers. New managers are people who step up from becoming distributors to new managers, either doing 250 points personally or doing 500 points with your team and a minimum of 100. And the benefits of being a manager is you get a recognition pin, you attend a special manager school, you get retail profits, at least you reach a 5% sales volume bonus, and you are on your way to senior manager. So the new managers in Uganda is 11, in Kenya is 33, and Tanzania is 98. A total of 142 new managers in the East African region. So congratulations to all those new managers who've joined, made a step and have made a serious commitment to get not only to manager, but to get to senior manager. The next step is senior managers. Stepping up to senior manager, these are the benefits of being a senior manager, is recognition. You get a recognition pin, you attend a special senior manager school, your retail profit goes above 10%. Your retail profit is 20%. Sales volume bonus between 10 and 20%. You get free products for the qualified senior manager incentive, and you are on your way to becoming a director. So in Uganda, we had 5 new senior managers. In Kenya, we had 20 new senior managers. And in Tanzania, we had 33 new senior managers. At the total of 58 new senior managers in the East African region. Congratulations to all those new senior managers. And then we have the 3 in 30 incentive. This is a program that the company has put together so that people can aim to develop their teams by doing a 3 in 30. Means you sponsor 3 people in 30 days, or you sponsor at least 1 person and 3 people in your developing group. And if you repeat this for 6 months, you become a 3 in 30 superstar. So the 3 in 30 star playing, Gladys Correll, Stella Cheburet and William Kipkoros, Daniel Koila and Ruth Jemutai, Sophia Saidi and Omari Juma Mtulo, Gloria Nicolaus and Andrew Ruben, Mariam Kajigini and Joseph Mwanyela, Neema Makasanga, Eugenia Mosha and Wilfred Clements, Teresia Ngumba and James Yangi, Eunice Muro and Mohamed Kasui, Luis Uiso, Doreen Pazzi and Justus, Sheka Al Karni and Alhan Nasser. Then 3 in 30 star, that is if you do 3 in 30 in 2 consecutive months, Priska Cheriot and Isaac Lagat, Priscilla and Mike Tidney, Salim Taita and Ucho Nyota, Nadzua and Mwero Mrinza, Devota Mafikiri and Moses Nyenyemba, Rachel Sigwa and Victor Paulo, Nyakorema Rioba and John Ngariba, Margaret Lukoto and Elias Lukwala, Deborah and Alois Mushi, Mametla and Lumelezi and Joab Mushumba, Elisamehe Kinshaga and Natujwa Mrinde, Japali and Mgimbuza and Happy Diskani. Those are the 3 in 30 1-star. Then, and 3 in 30 2-star, those are people who've done 3 in 30 the 3 consecutive months. Catherine Samueli and Franklin Chekani, Ndaki Daudi Shilinde, Paulo Luhomola, Evans Kashamba and Tadei Masi, Mpoki Mumakamba and Gladness Nyato, Lillian Donge and Cassian Anastasia. 3 in 30 3-star is Job and Ann Karanja, Olivia Kamaro and Timothy Mrema. I think this is from Tanzania. Job and Ann Karanja from Kenya. And then 3 in 30 superstar, Anastasia Simon and Martha Mushe, Agnes Kazinza and Watson Mtewele, Joyce Adenis Poniaga. So congratulations to all those people who've done 3 in 30 superstar, because 3 in 30 is the foundation of our success in the business. If you want to build a strong business, adopt the 3 in 30 program. The next is personal sponsoring. These are people who've made an effort to introduce people personally into the business. I know there are people who've done 1 in 30, 2 in 30, but for the recognition and time constraints, we're going to recognize people who've sponsored 3 people personally. Dennis and Kerukunda Rachel Tumashebe, Kenneth Arinaitwe, Consolata Karongo and Silvanus Mayenga, Diana Mushema and Dastan, Cecilia and Constantine, Stephen and Odetha Simuye, Rachel Sigwa and Victor Paulo, Lucy Uiso, Sheka Al-Karni and Alham Nasser, Ngao Mangati and Ann Ngao, Nazua and Mwero Mrinzi, Jane Weru and Francis Wagura, Priscilla and Mike Telieni, Gladys Correll, Magdalene Kavuku and John Kitonyo Kitema, Lucy and Andrew Miava, Eugenia Mosha and Winfred Clemens, Deborah and Lois Mushi, Neema Charles Tapule, Amon Kweka, Eunice Muro and Mohammed Kasui, Sophia Saidi and Omari Juma Mtulo, Sauda Pande and Jafari, Irene Tebe and Deusi Garuko, Eunice and Leonard Msangi, Nancy Makori and Kisare Makari. Then, people who have sponsored 4 distributors in the month of June: Zaidi Yazidi Ramugira, Beatrice Haman and Kizito Msofeo, Dorothea and Mkadanji and Janet, Jafali Mgimbuza and Happy Daskani, Rachel and Dixon Gamba Magoire. And then the ones who sponsored 5 people: Evans Kashamba and Tadei Masi, Zuhura Ntakasandika and Hilali Shabani, Opportuna Ireneus Nikochembo, Olivia Kimaro and Timothy Mrema, Jesse and Diana and Neibona. So congratulations to all those people who sponsored 5 people during the month of June. Then 2 people have sponsored 6. Shanifu Kisanji and Husna and Oswald Mukupete. Congratulations. I know these people are really seriously building their business, and as you can guess, they're in Tanzania. The ones who sponsored 7, Joyce Adenis Poniaga and Devota Mafikiri and Moses Nyenyembe. Congratulations to those 2 distributorships. And then I think our top distributor for East Africa, Josephat and Pierre-Rose Karaoke. Congratulations to all of you, to Josephat and Pierre-Rose. I think they have refused to be dethroned from this spot of the top sponsoring distributors in Africa. Congratulations. But apart from sponsoring, the thing that also makes our business grow is personal PV. Excuse me. So the top 10 personal PV in the region of East Africa are Alexander and Collins Alex, 3,582 PV. Joyce Jackson Bisa, 3,613. Veronica and Monica Ramadhani is 3,789. Ivo Mapunda is 3,993. Winfrida and Whitney Ngaruko, 4,001. Witness Mbuji, 4,060. Abel and Teresia Akanori Beida, 4,105. Manaidi and Sophia Athumani, 4,118. Zaidi Yazidi Ramugira is 5,220. And the top distributor in the East African region in personal production is Bella Mary and Joe Bongoko. I think they have been very consistent in their personal PV. So congratulations to all these personal production distributors. I think we can learn a big lesson from them for showing the way. And then the coveted position, new directors. When you become a new director, you get a recognition pin, you get a special director folder, you attend a special director school, retail profit, 25% sales volume bonus. You earn leadership development bonus when you start building other directors. You earn a monthly director incentive between 680 and 10,000 Kenya shillings quarterly, and the equivalent in Uganda and Tanzania. You attend the leadership school. So there are very many fantastic director recognition benefits. And the following are brand new directors in East Africa. Ivo Mapunda, excuse me, Joyce Adenis and Poniaga, Joyce Jackson Bisa, Winfrida and Whitney Ngaruko, Ridhiwani and Rehema Mwanga, Diana Mushema and Dastan. So congratulations to all these new directors. Excuse me. Paul, I don't know if there are any of these people who are attending this recognition rally.
We can check through whether there is anybody on the call. As you call their names, I'll be able to check.
Okay, let me go on then. Excuse me. And then the people who have earned director consistency bonus, those are people who become consistent as directors. Jesse and Diana Anebiuna, 240,000 Uganda shillings. Magdalene Kavuku and John Kitema, 16,800 Kenya shillings. Juliet and Ezekiel Bahebe, 145,000 Tanzania shillings. So congratulations to all those winners for the director consistency bonuses. The next step is Sapphire Directors. Sapphire Director simply means you've been generous and active enough that you've developed another person in your team to become a director, and your total team is doing at least 10,000 PV in a month. As Zig Ziglar says, you will get everything you want if you help enough other people to get what they want. So let's see if you have a brand new Sapphire Director. Yes, we have a brand new Sapphire Director, Loveness Malugu and Heaven Light Nanyaro. I don't know if they're in our meeting today.
Yes, Pascal, we have Loveness on the call today. Let me see whether she can be able to say a word.
Okay, let me unshare the screen so that they can give us a few words of wisdom and share their story.
All right. Hi, Loveness, you can unmute yourself, useme jambo moja hata kama ni kwa Kiswahili. All right, I'm just waiting for her to unmute herself. If we don't get her today, she's supposed to be speaking tomorrow in our Swahili segment.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting. Loveness, can you hear me? All right, I think she's not able, maybe she was not ready, but I have our PT Dora with one of our brand new directors. I'm just trying to see whether the brand new director can be able to say okay.
Hello.
Let me see. Oh, Loveness is there. She can share something. Loveness, how are you?
I'm fine. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations for stepping up to Sapphire Director.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I thank God for everything. I thank my super upline, who's Namkupete, and my downlines. I really appreciate you guys. You make me did it. Thank you so much. I will talk well when it is a Swahili meeting because my English is so hard.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Kizuri sana, usiwe na hofu.
Asanteni sana, nawashukuru sana.
Asante.
Sawa, nitatoa story yangu ikiwa siku ya Kiswahili ili waweze kuelewa vizuri.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Asante sana Loveness, wewe ndio mgeni wetu kesho kwa kipindi cha Kiswahili, kwa hivyo ujitayarishe ndio watu waweze kusikia story yako.
Sawa, asanteni sana.
Asante.
Haya.
So Pascal, because of time, maybe you might continue. We will be able to get all the other step-ups in other meetings so that they can be able to share their story with us as well.
Okay, thank you, Paul. And then the World Team Consistency Incentive, these are people who have reached Sapphire Direct and above. Aminu and Bagarikayo Mwebaze, 895,000 Uganda shillings. Dennis and Kiarukunda Tumushabe, 358,000 Uganda shillings. Stella Mrema and Albert Kiamukilwa, 216 Tanzania shillings. Veronica Biaka and Dennis Mboya, 216 Tanzania shillings. Beatrice Harman and Kizito Msofeo, 216 Tanzania shillings. 216,000 Uganda shillings. Congratulations to all of them. And just to give you a closing remark, the secret to success is not to give up. You see, one of the key things about success in this business is persistence. Persistence means that you have a very clear goal, you have a very intense desire, and you know what you want to achieve, and then you have a consistent effort to achieve those dreams. If you apply those simple things, nothing will stop you from achieving the dreams that you want. So the key thing to success in life, not only in this business, is to make sure that you have persistence in doing whatever you want. And persistence requires you to be consistent in what you do. Just a few notes on persistence. Number one, persistence is a state of mind. Number two, persistent means there's a sustained effort towards achieving a goal. Number three, you need to have a definite aim or a goal. Number four is the intensity of the desire. Number five, you have definite plans which you put to action. Number six is accurate knowledge of what you want to achieve. And number 7, it has to become a daily habit. If you have these things going for you and you become persistent, success is guaranteed in your business and in your life. So Paul, I want to hand over back to you to close our meeting. I want to thank all the distributors who've attended, all the people who made steps during the month of June. Congratulations to all of them.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for taking us through the recognition. It is not easy to call all those names, some of them from different regions, but you have done it so well. You know, it's amazing how you have been able to do it within a record of time. So I just want to thank you so much for the dedication, together with Betty, for always being there for us, to be able to train us and wishing us all the best. So, and we have no reason not to succeed, because you have been able to give us everything that you know. And so I just want to extend a special recognition to you and Betty for being our hero in terms of giving us all the information that we need to be able to build our business. So that's our recognition for today. And I just want to say once again, a big congratulations to all the people whose names have been mentioned today. I know it has taken a lot of effort and planning and setting goals and working with your team for you to be able to receive the kind of recognition you have been able to get today. So, and I hope that you'll continue to receive. And most important, we'll be able to show your team what you did to be able to be recognized, so that we can continue to make our business in East Africa grow to where it's supposed to be. East Africa is a 1 million PV business. We are almost there. And we need participation of each and every one of you in terms of sponsoring, in terms of empowering people in this business and sharing the opportunity. It is an amazing thing for us to be able to do. So before we close, I just want to remind you that we are going to have our East Africa Convention next month. That is the month of August 14th. And I know because of the complications that are coming with the COVID-19, we are supposed to have our event in Tanzania, and that is Mlimani City. And we had invited all the East Africa distributors, but because of the COVID situation, we might not be able to get people from Uganda and Kenya coming across, because again, movement has been quite expensive. So in Tanzania, definitely, unless anything changes, it's gonna be a physical meeting in Mlimani City. So Tanzanians, I'm just throwing in a challenge. We need to make sure that we fill the hall, the registration is going on. So from now, just go to the warehouse, pay your registration, so that you can be able to get a sitting in that place. It's not very big, so if you delay, you might find yourself locked out, because we're also observing the COVID rules, even if even in Tanzania. So we just need to make sure that we register as early as possible. For the Kenyans and Ugandans, definitely we'll have this meeting on Zoom. So if you are not able to make it to Tanzania, you do not need to worry. Just like what we did last year, we're going to do the same, so that everybody can be able to participate in one way or the other. But you know, let's look out. You never know. Maybe by next week, COVID will not be here anymore. You might be able to travel, but meantime, that is how the plans are. And before the convention, we are going to have a leadership school. And again, because of the convention COVID complication, we are going to do our leadership schools in countries. So if it is in Tanzania, we are going to do it in Tanzania. Kenya, we are going to do it in Kenya. And Uganda, we are going to do it in Uganda, so that we can be able to make sure we get that training and we keep our distributors as secure as possible. So we are going to start with Tanzania, which is just going to be before the convention leadership school. It's going to be on the 9th all the way to the 12th. And, you know, Tanzanians are already aware, and we're looking forward to having a good time. So I just want to thank you so much for coming to this meeting today. And I believe that if you are a guest, you have been able to understand the exciting part about this opportunity. And I just want you to turn to the person who brought you to this call. Ask them how you can be able to be part of this business. It's an amazing business. It has been our safety net, and especially during this time of COVID-19, when the economies of the world are not growing as they should. So it's a beautiful place to be. It's an amazing opportunity with wonderful products and wonderful people who are going to guide you on what you're supposed to do to be able to succeed in this life. So from me and Pascal and Betty, we just want to thank you so much. And also our present team members on the call today from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. We just want to thank you so much for joining us today and bringing your team and your prospects. Those are guests on this call. We just want to thank you for taking time to be with us. And I just want to say we have come to the end of our meeting. So have a lovely night. Tomorrow, same time, we are going to have our Swahili session. Please don't miss. Bring guests so that they can be able to hear from our brand new Sapphire director who is doing an amazing job. So thank you so much. Have a lovely evening and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you and bye-bye. Thank you, Pascal. Bye-bye and good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Paul. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.